do not wear masks at our meeting. So we're asking that you please comply by putting on a mask. If you don't put on a mask, we're asking you to leave. We appreciate your cooperation, and as I said, we've also already received a letter from the Department of Health at the last meeting, and the Department of Health has told us if we continue to have meetings in the schools and people do not wear masks, we will be fined.
You're not wearing masks.
Thank you. Yes, they are.
No, they're
Oh,
not.
yes.
Can you cite the law? Can you cite specifically, and will you post that letter?
I will tell you that it is a mandate from the
I don't care.
governor.
I'm in the media. We'd like to see a copy of the letter, please.
Thank you very much. Please put a mask on.
Will you give us a copy of that letter? Or is this some invented nonsense that's typical of most school departments? Are you answering questions tonight, or is this just another handout?
Sir, please put a mask on.
All right, so I'll put the mask on, then I'll ask you the same question.
If you want any documents from this department, please ask for it.
You really want me to start apparating things? Do you really want that? That'll get pretty out of control pretty quickly. You should concentrate more on your test scores than you do on masks.
You're wrong about the test scores.
Hmm?
Dude, it's a school.
Seriously, don't do that.
I have to believe they're nonsense anymore.
Your school's just stink. Concentrate on that.
All right, can everybody please rise?
The United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you give me your email, I'll be glad to give you the letter that we moving on, we have an accolade tonight.
I'll speak aloud. Yes, sir. The school committee would like to acknowledge and congratulate former Rockwell student Trinity Ellis for exceeding her grade level expectations on the RICAS science assessment. Unfortunately, at our last meeting, her name was accidentally omitted. Nevertheless, we are very proud of all of us Bristol Warren students and wanted to make sure that Ms. Ellis was properly acknowledged. Congratulations to Rockwell student Trinity Ellis, grade 5 science. On behalf of the school committee, we would like to congratulate the coaches for the KMS girls soccer team state runners-up. Congratulations to Karen Noonan and Richie Texera. Thank you very much.
All right, ladies
tonight we provide for public comment, just so you know. We will be discussing COVID in open session, and you will be allowed to come to the podium and comment on COVID and the issues that you have. So anybody who signed up for public comment who has a concern about that, I'd appreciate it if you wait until we get to COVID, because the public comment is limited to 15 minutes at 3 minutes apiece. We will exceed that tonight, and I will allow us to exceed that to 20 minutes because we have extra speakers. But I'd appreciate it if it is about COVID, if you would wait, and I will recognize you when we get to that. Thank you. The first person to sign up is Jessica Almeida.
Hello, I'm Jessica Almeida, and I'm from Bristol, Rhode Island. My topic is communication and parent involvement. Communication, which it seems like this school district has none. There needs to be better communication from our teachers, principals, district level, as well as the school committee. Disclosing information that only you want to communicate is not communication. We as parents and guardians have a right to hear about everything that's going on with our children. When we send our children to school, we are sending them into a black hole. And for some of us, we are relying on a 5-year-old for information. The schools and district need to do a better job not only promoting but encouraging parents to attend school committee meetings. Some seem to be banking on parent absences, because if parents were aware of their agendas, some of you, if not many, would not be sitting here today. As of today, over 90 students this year have been pulled out of the district to be homeschooled or to attend private school because of the nonsense, and that should be a major concern to every single one of you. Nowadays, parents and guardians are not welcome in the schools or classrooms, and this has nothing to do with COVID because this started prior to 2020. Many in the community would like to see family involvement come back. It's clear that some find involved parents a threat. If parents were welcomed, a lot of what is going on in the classroom wouldn't be happening, and some of our educators have lost sight of the actual curriculum. What is needed? Parents and guardians should be able to volunteer in the schools. Detailed teacher in district communications. A detailed curriculum on what our children are learning each week, including books being read to them. I bet many parents here or listening in are not aware that a librarian in this district read a book to multiple elementary schools classes called Were I Not a Girl, which talks about openly changing genders, leaving some kids confused. And this is an elementary school in our district.
Good.
Many of the parents had zero clue about this, by the way, so when kids asked them, they were caught off guard and didn't know how to respond to some of this. We want the school committee agenda to be detailed. It should not be left up to one individual to approve it. It is too vague, and some topics are trying to be hidden. Open communication to the parents and guardians is needed now more than ever. Bottom line, kids seem to perform better when their family is involved and welcome in the schools and classrooms. Work on bringing that culture back into the classrooms instead of school educators hiding information from the parents, which is going on probably way more than what you know or willing to admit. Most and many kids will probably feel more supported and have a sense of safety, which is also lacking in this district. And who knows, maybe the district test scores would even improve. I will leave you with this. I know times have changed, but when I was in school, which I know was a little while ago, I never knew the political affiliation of any of my teachers, and students today shouldn't either. Thank you.
Thank you. David Scarpino.
Thank you, everybody. Welcome, Superintendent Riley. As you know, this is a very divided community. It's a very divided school board. Better? As I was saying, it's a very divided community, a very divided school board. I've been saying for months that really we should be focused on one thing and one thing only. The academic excellence of this school, the advancement of these children, so when they go to college, they can graduate from college. When they graduate from college, they can get a good job. The division that is being sown by members of this community, by the union, by some teachers who have off-site meetings to plot against the school board, and to use students as pawns and pit them against the school board committee does a disservice to all. We have to refocus ourselves, galvanize ourselves, and work together to make sure the education is top-notch, that those scores go up, and that we exceed. I understand, everybody wants more money. We all get that. Everybody wants more teachers, understood. But if we don't have those resources, and by the way, if we don't have those resources, we should be advocating to our elected officials to figure out how to get them. But if we don't have them, that can't be an excuse for our failure. It absolutely cannot be. And I think we've allowed COVID, which I think is horrible. The way we've treated these students with masks, different issue, but I think we're doing them a huge disservice. And I think academic excellence has to be the one and only topic that every meeting we spend 80% of our energy, 80% of our time talking about and improving. Everybody should be working together. And right now, everybody's working against one another. And I just think we're failing our children. One other quick question, Dr. Bryce, your predecessor, there was a charter review committee. We had groups broken out. We came back with reports. Those reports were supposed to be circulated back to the people participating on each of those charters. They were supposed to then come back here for discussion, adoption, or abandonment. We haven't seen anything yet, and we're just wondering, will those be brought up for discussion in the future? Thank you very much.
George Dimmick. Oh, and excuse me, but the people who just came in, you need to please be wearing a mask. Hi, George, can you get that stage? Gentlemen need to put a mask. Otherwise, would you ask them? I would ask them to leave.
Gentlemen, please put a mask on. You've already received a letter from the Department of Health that if we get any more complaints, we are going to be fined. I'm asking you to please put a mask on. If you don't have a mask, please leave.
Our society is divided.
This is a meeting about academic students. It's not about singling out people for their personal choices.
Please put a mask on, or it's not a personal choice. It's the ruling of the governor, and we've already received the mask. Gentlemen, wear a mask, please leave.
They shouldn't be wearing a mask. That's why we're here.
5-year-olds can do it.
You'll get up there yet.
Great to see you. You just hold
Well, you guys can go through it. I don't know who this guy is. Yeah, I know. I saw that. Yeah, I think there is one. Okay.
We need to be wearing masks, and for the gentleman who asked for a copy of the letter, I'll be glad to send it to you. called the Governor's Executive Order and RIDO's emergency regulations requiring pre-K to 12 schools to have a universal masking policy in place. Messaging prior to events as well as public signage may be helpful reminders for constituents who are entering the facility off hours and may not be fully aware. And as you all know, at the beginning of our agenda, it says very clearly that you have to wear a mask. The following links may be important to you as well. We appreciate your continued collaboration and ongoing efforts to keep our children in school. And I think that those people who don't have masks ought to understand how the parents here who ask their children every morning to put a mask on and go to school have the right to ask you to put a mask on.
No, they don't.
Or leave the building.
No, they don't.
I'm not going to get into an argument with you
They don't.
about that.
Your meeting.
I am asking you to leave. Oh, you cannot. Yeah.
We're wasting time, we should be talking about academic excellence, not fooling around with this crap. We're wasting time. Let's go.
More than 6 feet away.
Back in the table, not up.
Posting this?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm asking, because they can hear me right now? All right, good. Because I had like 10 people just text me that said as soon as I introduced myself, the sound was shut off. And I just confirmed that with the sound guy, and I asked if he was instructed to do so, and he wouldn't answer me. So no one on the Bristol Warren School District YouTube channel heard what I said. So when...
Excuse me, point of order. Is this meeting being selectively censored? Our town, was the sound shut down for public comment?
No, we were having technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties, okay. Just for the record, I've recorded it all.
That's fine.
It doesn't appear to be. If you're having technical difficulties during the period of time, then I think people need to be able to re-speak their point about what they were trying to make the public comment, so the rest of the school district who wasn't here can actually hear it on town facilities. Unless you want to be subject to an open meetings policy. Would you like to be subject to an open meetings law too?
All right, are we back on? Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's the pleasure of this committee that unless the members of the audience all have a mask on, that we will adjourn the meeting tonight. So I give you one more opportunity to put your mask on. I can't make you happy one way or another. All I'm asking you to do coming anyway. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much. We don't. We do not care about the kids.
This will be posted?
Yeah, turned out a lot faster than I
What
thought.
their education? They're losing so much. Yes, they are.
I'm gonna try to
Well,
upload
if your
it.
child's in quarantine, I'm sorry, because they're not getting taught. And that was needed to be discussed tonight.
This is about academic excellence and failing our kids. Pay attention. Failing our kids. School board and the parents, sit down and shut up. Yeah. Failing our kids.
They're obviously still sitting down, you must have some full door meeting to go after this, because you haven't exactly left. That's right.
So here's the thing, at that last meeting, there were 3 other school committee members. So unless you were, like, if I was from here, I said, let's get it going. I mean,
You know why they didn't ask the mask last week? Because there was too many people. They didn't know what side it was going to go.
they had the secretary now. Please ask them.
Yeah, that's it. No, nobody put them on. We put them on for a second and nobody else was like, right? But now they can control less masks if there's 2 guys. This is not going to support. I got your note.
All right, thank you, Craig. Have a good one.
And it's not even a penal, so
I hate unions, so go on.
they do it because they have to get
What's your name, please, for the record?
None of your business.
I'm sorry?
I don't need to tell you. I'm not discussing it.
You're an employee of the Bristol Warren School District and you engaged in an open meeting violation.
Silent.
And you're an employee, not a school board member, correct?
Silent.
Are you embarrassed by the failure of your school system here and the low test scores?
I'm embarrassed about people like you that come to the meeting and start crying.
I don't know, my children went to an Ivy League school, so I wouldn't be too embarrassed. Maybe a little less on nonsense and more on actual academics. A little less on social healing.